Today's pretty exciting. We're going to clean paintbrushes. Hi, I'm Lisa, the artist behind La Curie Fine Art. Today I am going to show you exactly how I clean my oil and acrylic painting brushes. When working in oil paint, I use Mona Lisa odorless paint thinner first, and that is actually stored in this little handy jar that has a wire rack at the bottom that is great for scrubbing the oil out of your brushes. So that is step one for oil paint. For my acrylic brushes, I'm just going to rinse them really good with water. Step two, I use the Masters brush cleaner, which is amazing. I love this stuff. It has saved so many brushes that I forgot to clean. So those are your supplies. Now I will go ahead and show you exactly how I clean my brushes. Okay, starting with my oil painting brushes, I am using my paint thinner. You can see it's really dirty. This does not have to be perfectly clean for it to work. I am wiping my paintbrushes off on my Viva paper towels. I'm using Viva paper towels because they're more cloth-like, so they work way better for oil paint. But I'm wiping as much paint as I can get off of the brushes first before I get started. Now that I've wiped most of the paint off of each brush, I'm going to wipe the brush back and forth across the wire rack that is at the bottom of my cleaning jar with the paint thinner. Notice that I'm not really scrubbing back and forth on there, I'm more wiping it back and forth. If you scrub, you can damage the bristles. After I rinse each brush in the paint thinner, I dry it off as good as I can get onto the paper towels. The next step with the soap and water works best when the brushes are mostly dry, so I want to get as much of that paint thinner out as I can. Usually I just let the brushes sit overnight and do the actual soap and water portion the next day. The next step is going to work the same for cleaning either oil or acrylic brushes. I wet the brush with warm water and then work it into the brush cleaner. If the brush is still wet from paint thinner, you won't get much of a lather, that's okay. I then wipe the brush back and forth against the bottom of the sink to really work the cleaner into the brush. For acrylic, I don't have to repeat this process more than once or twice. With oils, I always do the rinse and repeat thing several times to make sure I have all of my mixing medium and paint out of the brushes. If you're getting color that's still coming out of the brush, it means it needs to be rewashed until no more color comes out when you use the soap. The brushes can be stained, that's fine. You just want to make sure that no actual paint color is still coming out of the brush. When each brush is clean, I pinch the excess water from the brush and then lay it flat to dry. When cleaning your brushes with soap and water, make sure that you're wiping the brush back and forth against the brush cleaner or sink, but not actually scrubbing. Scrubbing will damage the brushes. You also want to make sure that you work the brush cleaner all the way up to where the bristles actually start. If you've forgotten to wash a brush and it's already hardened, sometimes you can let it set with Masters brush cleaner overnight and wash it like normal in the morning, and that will save it. Not always, but sometimes it does. So that's it, and once the brushes are clean, I lay them flat to dry. You don't want to lay them upright because you don't want the water running down into the barrel of the brush because it can get into the glue that is holding the bristles together, and that can loosen them up and cause the bristles to fall out. So just lay them flat to dry and you are done. One thing I do want to mention for your oil paint brushes, when you've cleaned them with soap and water, make sure that they are 100% dry before you paint with them again. If any water is trapped in that brush and you go back and start working with oil, it really messes up the brushes and they just never quite seem right again. So just make sure that they are 100% dry before you start painting with them again when you have used soap and water. If you have a brush that you have completely destroyed, hang on to it because next week I'm going to show you some fun things you can do with those brushes as well. If you're new to my channel, I have new video critiques every Tuesday where I'm critiquing your original paintings or drawings, my own speed paintings, drawings, and tutorials every Wednesday, social media tips for artists each Thursday, and artist vlogs every weekend. So if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Google+, all those social media sites. Links are below in the video description to keep up with news, my newest work, and see real-time clips of whatever it is I'm currently working on. I'll see you guys in a few days.